Hey you guys, welcome back to Angela, and on this topic, as you guys can see, I want to talk about the Jezebel spirit, the spirit of confusion. I haven't spoken about the Jezebel spirit in a minute, but Jezebel keeps coming for me, so I'm going to come back for Jezebel because, I mean, honestly, even when I took the time to say I'm going to make this video about the Jezebel spirit, because I know a lot of people probably need to hear it, where it was talking about the narcissist, right? Because narcissist men are everywhere, but you never really, we know the Jezebel is everywhere, but because our experience with the Jezebel is kind of limited, because the Jezebel, she's attracted to the male image. She's attracted to men. So she can treat women one way and not have any respect for women, for children, for mothers, for marriages. You know, she don't have the respect for the same sex. But when you're dealing with narcissistic men, hey, there's good men out there who they don't trust having a friend who's a narcissist. So as a woman, we don't really, there's only a certain amount of limited information that we have as far as our relationships with the Jezebel spirit, whether it's with friendships, co-workers, mothers, you know, aunts, family members, grandmothers. Our experiences might be similar, but you always have to remember that the Jezebel is going to treat the narcissist different from you as a woman. So let's just say a narcissist, you know, a narcissist can beat them up. They can, they could be dealing with a narcissist and be a Jezebel spirit themselves, but portray like they're an empath, right? They can go hard for the narcissist. The narcissist can go to jail. They can go and even marry the narcissist while he's in prison, right? But someone who, you could be there for the Jezebel spirit, and if something goes wrong or the narcissist disputes a domestic violence case with you, you end up in jail or something. The Jezebel spirit, she's not going to come help you. The narcissist, they're not going to come help you. And that's when you're going to realize that a lot of women support narcissistic men, whether they're an empath or a Jezebel. You're going to see that women are drawn to men to where they have no loyalty towards the women. But if you go to a man's jail, you're going to see it bombarded by women even trying to get married with these men, but you're not going to see that same type of energy with women. So as a woman, you start to realize that you can't just like not trust, narcissistic men. But if you go and you start hanging around women, whether it's in a group, church, the women in your family, whoever it is, once you start coming around women seeking refuge, right, you're seeking help, you're going to realize there's no help on the other side either, right? And this isn't to blame men, because guess what? A lot of men feel this exact same way because they're dealing with the Jezebel spirit, and they've realized no matter how beautiful the Jezebel spirit might be, they realize that the Jezebel spirit is the spirit of confusion. So the Jezebel spirit, you guys, is the spirit of confusion. Even when I started making this video and I'm like, I need to touch down on the emotional intelligence of the Jezebel spirit, because women are known to be emotional, right? The thing about the Jezebel spirit is she seems like she does have emotional intelligence, but she only has it for herself. Just like the narcissist only has, that emotional intelligence for themselves. They only have it for themselves as well. Only that you're dealing with a woman, so you're always thinking, when you think about a woman, you think motherly, you think about what the media and people have taught you about how women are supposed to be, the how a domesticated couple is supposed to act, right? So you're automatically looking up to your aunts, your grandmothers, your parents sometimes, not knowing that they have the Jezebel spirit, and this spirit is consumed with themselves, envious of you, even, you know, and they're going to confuse you with love and affection and attention. They're going to confuse you, they're going to manipulate you, and they're going to use that motherly, that motherly energy. So you're going to come across these type of women in society at the drive-through. They're going to talk to you, hey honey, sweetie. They're going to talk to you very motherly, right? But they're not going to let you know that they're stealing money from their families. They're fighting over living wills, living trusts. They're not telling you that, they're not thinking about other people's families and other people's kids. They want their kids to have the best of everything, and they're willing to take opportunities from other people just to fulfill those needs for themselves. So everything is really for themselves, and it's not even them even caring about their children, because some of these people don't even have real morals. They pretend to have morals, and they pretend to go follow along with traditions and things like that, but underneath all of that, it's a mask, meaning that they're using their children as tools, their golden children, as tools to make themselves feel good, to brag to other people, and also to manipulate their own children even into illnesses that they even don't have, just to get a free check, or just so that later on in the future they have someone to take care of them at an elderly age. So that's why I say the Jezebel is the spirit of confusion, because she will manipulate you to think that she's a good person, or she's motherly, right? Or she's just like you. She's been through heartbreak. She's been through the same things that you've been through as a woman, because technically she's a woman. So you're going to go through similar things, identical things, because she's a woman. She's going to experience certain things that you as a woman experience, right? Just like, hey, you could relate to her because she has her period every month. The narcissist doesn't. She's given birth. The narcissist hasn't. So this is how the Jezebel gets you, because she'll find ways to connect with you, and you'll be sitting there thinking she's just like you, but she's the spirit of confusion, meaning that she seems like you, even when she's in a relationship, right? Let's just say she's in a relationship with a narcissist. The narcissist, they go for looks, usually, or what they can get from you financially as supply. So to them, there's no difference between you and the Jezebel spirit. They don't really care. Their standards are pretty low. They're going to go for usually who they're most likely attracted to, right? Or who they can gain more access, supply from. But when they are dealing with both the Jezebel and a regular empath, one thing the narcissist is going to notice is that you're emotional. You might have your period, that type of the month. As a woman, you're dealing with all these stressors of being perfect, and a guy, you might feel like a guy, he really don't got to do nothing. Go get a haircut, have some nice clothes. You might feel the pressure of, oh, I got to do my makeup, I got to do this, I got to feel perfect. You feel like you might even be competing with other women, or you might feel like other women are competing with you and even want to take your man from you, right? So you might experience different type of stressors. You might feel like you got a good person by your side, but you might even have insecurities as a woman. What if someone else thinks he's as great as I think he is? Or what if he goes to work and one of his coworkers are into him? So there might be insecurities as a woman that might come up along the relationship, and that's where that trust needs to be built or present. That's where that man has to reassure you their loyalty, and prove to you that they're loyal to you and they respect you, right? Or respect you as a person, as a human being. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, they know that whether you're an empath or you're the Jezebel spirit, you're gonna have periods of times where you're emotional, and that's where they almost see the empath and the Jezebel as being the same person, because they're like, oh, women, it doesn't matter if you're an empath, if you're a good girl, if you're a bad girl, it don't matter. Y'all are emotional. Y'all are emotional. So to a narcissist, they're going to say to themselves, screw all this emotional shit. I need control. I need to be able to control you as a woman, because you don't control me. I control you. Right? So that's where that control, they're going to become controlling, possessive even. And, show some type of authority. A lot of times, as an empath, this will make you feel like you're doing something wrong, or this might make you feel like, I need to start trusting this person. I need to start trusting the narcissist, right? And you'll back down, you'll trust them, but they will always keep giving you red flags, and that's what will keep you in a place of being emotional. So it's not technically that you're an emotional person, it's that the narcissist is purposely giving you red flags and triggers to make you someone that you're not even this person, right? But they're used to the Jezebel spirit. They're used to someone who's extremely emotional, right? So they start projecting that onto you, and now you become an emotional wreck, just like the Jezebel spirit is an emotional wreck, and she's the spirit of confusion. So in those in those moments where you realize, maybe I'm emotional, maybe I need to do something nice for the narcissist, this is where your empathy comes in, right? To the Jezebel, that's where she's testing the narcissist. Oh, let me see if he's really serious. Oh, he's trying to, act controlling with me, and I should do whatever he wants me to do, or he's telling me I should stop being insecure. So this is where now the Jezebel will challenge the narcissist, right? And if the narcissist challenges them back, now they're competing with each other. So now the Jezebel spirit might feel like, I need to get someone behind the narcissist's back. The narcissist might feel like, I'm going to get someone behind their back, right? So when the Jezebel spirit finds out that the narcissist is with the empath, who's also emotional, but the empath has a little bit more respect for the narcissist because they have this loyalty towards the narcissist, even though they're emotional. So now what the Jezebel spirit will do is she'll start crying, she'll start pleading, she'll start questioning the narcissist. Why are you doing this to me? The same things the empath is saying, like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you, the narcissist has that spirit of confusion towards the empath. They'll start doing, the Jezebel spirit will start saying, why are you doing this to me? I thought we were this. I thought everything was good. You must be with someone else, right? So now that's where the narcissist won't be able to tell the empath and the Jezebel apart. But the narcissist deep down knows this is the Jezebel spirit, and they deep down feel like, I can't trust this Jezebel because I haven't heard from her. And maybe something went wrong with the other dude, and now she's back. Just the same way that I do the empath, because I do it to the empath to cheat with them, right? So they'll start to think, that the narcissist will start to think the difference between you and the Jezebel is that you're kinder, but maybe you're kinder because the Jezebel might be more attractive. So the narcissist will feel like, well, if you were as attractive as this Jezebel spirit, you would probably behave just like her, right? So you're looking at the perceptions of everyone. That's what makes you an empath, is that you can perceive everyone's realities, their experiences, how they see you. You can see how crazy they look. When you're in that crazy, you're so emotional, you can't see the clear picture. When you're out of it, you see the clear picture. So you see that Now the Jezebel, the spirit of confusion, she is displaying some type of emotional intelligence, just like the empath, and it seems the same. It seems even sincere, just like when the narcissist hoovers you and they seem very sincere, and it seems like they're really trying to work things out. But then it's almost like someone comes and then changes their mind, and it's like they'll drop you in a flip of a dime type of thing. So it's the same thing with the Jezebel. She will rail that narcissist in the spirit of confusion. She did all this crying knowing she was with someone else as well. But she's telling the narcissist in her, subliminally in her way, yeah, I want to go be with someone else. She's not going to tell the truth, but in her subliminal way, she will show it with emotions like, I'm only acting this way because I know you've got someone else, right? They're the spirit of confusion. I know you got someone else. So now the narcissist is like, yeah, I do got someone else, but this is why I can't be serious with you, because I don't know if I can trust you, because I can leave that good empath and you might not give me the same supply. So that's where they're like displaying characteristics of an empath, and the narcissist will believe it, because just like the narcissist only cares about themselves and their own needs and their emotional needs being met, and they don't care about destroying other people's realities and emotions and killing them spiritually, the Jezebel is the spirit of confusion. She's the exact same way. So her whole thing is, it becomes a competition. The narcissist will realize it's a competition, but the emotions that the Jezebel will display, it'll make you feel like, nah, this person is in tears, right? They'll see the tears. So now when you as an empath, you're in tears, you're getting your heart broken, the narcissist is so desensitized to you because they've been around that Jezebel spirit of confusion so long that they'll look at you and they'll feel like your tears are crocodile tears as well. So now, not all the time, but sometimes what will happen is that once the Jezebel feels like she's won, okay, the narcissist, they've left the old supply. I've got them wrapped around my finger. Now the Jezebel will start to show who she really is, right? Her sneakiness. She feels like she has you. Just like the narcissist feels like they could go and play you when they feel like they have the empath, wrapped around their finger, right? And they feel like they could do and say and talk to you and come in and out of your life. The Jezebel feels like she's the prize. She feels like the narcissist, I was always the first choice, but he just didn't trust me because he felt like I didn't have that emotional intelligence that he's going to need in the long run, because that's really the reason a lot of guys leave me, is because I don't have the emotional intelligence. I only have the emotional intelligence for myself. I only have the emotional intelligence to get you as supply and keep you around me. But I don't have the emotional intelligence for other people, other humans, even friendships, right? They even talk behind their friends' backs and talk about them, but yet they're always calling their friends when they're going through it with a narcissist, but behind their friends don't know, hey, your friend's talking about you. She comes to you to help her, but she talks bad about you. She really don't. Just how she talks bad about the narcissist and the men that she deals with, she talks bad about her friends as well. So she doesn't have the emotional intelligence she tried to display to you. So if she displayed to you, hey, this is what I know a woman is supposed to do. This is what I know that you like, right? Just like a narcissist can master becoming everything that you want, the Jezebel can do the same. She can cook for you. She can do certain things that'll make you feel like this is wife material. This person is perfect. They seem compassionate with they seem like a good person. They seem like they, got a good head on their shoulders. They know how to cook. They might fool you into these things, right? But now once they know, especially if they're dealing with a narcissist, if they're dealing with an empath, it's going to be different. But if they're dealing with another narcissist, once, either way it goes, whether it's a narcissist or an empath, when the Jezebel spirit of confusion feels like she's won, she don't feel like she got to prove anything to you anymore. So now she's not going to cook for you every day the way she was doing initially. Now she's everything that she was doing, like let's just say you have let's just say you have friends over and everyone's watching the game or something, and she was that type of girl that's like, I'm gonna wash the dishes. Like, she starts washing the dishes out of nowhere, and everyone's like, damn, your girl be cleaning, she washing dishes, right? So all that will go out the window. Now it's like, you expect me to do everything, or you expect me, but it happens so quickly, right? And it will have you shocked, because you'll think to yourself like, I thought you liked doing these things. You volunteered to do these things. You made it seem like that's just who you are as a person. Like, you made it seem like that's who you are. You wake up, you make up the bed, whatever the case is, right? So now she'll start complaining about it, or start making you feel like you should do your part, right? You could do your part, and it's never going to be enough for her. She will stop doing all the things that she initially was doing to try to get you. And then now, let's just say you're tired from work, or you left your shoes in a certain place, or you haven't done your laundry. Before, she might have been doing your laundry and stuff. And I'm saying this maybe if you're married, right? The Jezebel spirit of confusion got you to marry her. Now everything has changed once she's like, oh, I got you to marry me. Now, certain things that they're not doing, so that you won't point it out to them. They're the spirit of confusion. So you won't point out the things that they used to do that they know they're not doing anymore, because it was just a tool to get you. Now they'll start treating you bad. Now they'll start talking about you, how you physically look, or compete with you when it comes to fitness or something, or call you lazy, even though you might be going to work and paying all the bills. So now they're like, oh, you come home from work, you don't spend time with the children, you're too tired to do this, so now it's like they're making it seem like they're unhappy, and it doesn't matter what you do to fulfill their needs. And this is why a lot of these Jezebel spirits that are the spirit of confusion will sit there and get married with someone they know, hey, I used you. Because some of these Jezebel spirits sometimes even they tell you that they have children with you, and the baby's not even yours. That's how deep it goes. The baby won't even be yours, because it was a spirit of confusion. It was like, oh, I know what to do and what to say to get to you. I know you're going to believe me, and I also know that you'll be a good provider. And if I decide to leave you for the person that basically that ain't shit, that left me pregnant and to fend for myself, they might end up even leaving and going back to the person that who's the real father of the children. And you might not know, and they got you to sign the birth certificate just so that they can get child support, and have you thinking that's your kid the whole time. And now they're messing back with that old narcissist, right? They accused you of being this bad guy, this abuser, this cheater, all the things that her ex was actually doing. And it'll make you think like, how could you play me when you said someone played you? Just like when you be thinking, when you're with a narcissist and they told you about their exes, or told you that it was them, or they were immature, or sometimes they even take accountability for their bad behavior in the past and tell you that they've changed. But then they start repeating the same patterns that they've always repeated. And then they'll blame you for repeating those patterns, for them repeating those patterns. They'll blame you in order to continue reliving that pattern, right? So, she'll do all these things. The Jezebel, the spirit of confusion, will do all these things to confuse you and make you look like the bad person and everything that she's actually attracted to. So the narcissist can say, oh, if you're with a narcissist, guess what? He's going to say you're a cheater. He's going to say you're probably flirting with your coworkers. He's going to accuse you of all the things that he's doing to you. The Jezebel spirit is just like that. Right? Sometimes the Jezebel, she's the spirit of confusion because she could be married. She could even be the breadwinner in the family. And because she looks down on you, because she's the breadwinner, she chose you purposely to be lower than her. First of all, because she figured, oh, I'm going to use you so you can take care of the children and you can do things. And, hey, at least you won't have to work and be like a strong man and be a provider. I'll be the provider. But you don't know she's sleeping with people that she works with. She might have, she might marry a narcissist who's low grade, but she feels like she can control him because she's a higher grade Jezebel spirit. So the Jezebel spirit of confusion feels like because her money is enough, right, to control that lower grade narcissist. And when she realizes that, hey, you're taking care of a bum and he's probably sleeping with other women behind your back, she knew that was a possibility from the start, but she already had plans on using that narcissist as bait to maybe start a family. And once everything is said and done, now she can put the blame on the husband who's at home, put him on child support. She has a better job. He might have the greatest job, so she still feels like she might not get much out of him because he doesn't really have a good job. But just the thought of knowing, hey, when I met you, I helped you, and you're always going to think about me because now you're probably in a worse predicament than you were until you met me, because now you don't have that family you've always wanted. I took that from you. I got a child that's always going to be connected to you. And now, even if you try to start all over again, it's going to be hard because I got people taking money out of your check. And on top of that, I'm going to give you a difficult time to see your child, or I'm going to try to turn our child against you. And if you want to start over again, you're going to have to get with another Jezebel spirit or someone that's going to help you. And if they help you, they're going to feel like they have ownership over you. And what the narcissist, what this person could do, they could be an empath and they could turn into a narcissist now. And now they're using someone who's an empath to fill in the gaps of what the Jezebel spirit did to them. And now the Jezebel spirit has built in that spirit of confusion, where now they see that empath that is helping them and saving them, who's really an angel that came into their life. Now they're viewing them as being the same as that initial Jezebel spirit, because they'll look at it like, every time you get mad, you bring up all the nice things you do for me, because that person might feel like they're not being heard. They might feel like maybe there's a lack of communication. Maybe that person feels like they still got trauma from, they're still triggered from their past, that relationship with that Jezebel. So that new person might not know what that person is going through, because they've never experienced what that person went through with that Jezebel spirit of confusion. So to them, it's like, how dare you? I've been nothing but nice to you. I've been nothing but, a friend to you. And you flip out on me because you got triggers and PTSD and shit that you're holding on to, or times where your ex feels like she still has some type of power over you. And because she's the spirit of confusion, she's setting up traps for you to be upset or mad, and certain things you don't want to share with your new partner, because you don't want your new partner to think that you still have feelings for your ex, who was probably a Jezebel spirit. So this person might hold a lot of things in, and now this new person is an empath will feel like they're being used, and they're like, you're using me. Like, they don't know what the hell is going on with this person, right? They feel like, oh, you're using me. I've done this for you, that for you. So now when things are being thrown at them, they feel like that's exactly what the Jezebel, the spirit of confusion, did. They threw stuff at me and they still went and were messing with other people. Or they feel like, oh, you're throwing what you've done or your nice deeds, but I've had other people do more things for me and they still F me over, right? So they're looking at their past, and it almost makes them look crazy, right? And you might feel like, okay, well, maybe they got issues from their past relationship. You might look at the narcissist like they got problems from their past relationship, and you still keep trying to make it work. You keep trying to heal them, keep trying to love them, keep trying to show them that you're not like the people that they were with. You're the one fighting. You're the one that got something to lose. They ain't got nothing to lose, right? And with the Jezebel, the spirit of confusion, she might have felt like, she might have, the narcissist might feel like the Jezebel fooled them and did that to them, right? And it really has nothing to do with the empath. What the Jezebel did to the narcissist got nothing to do. It's all about how the narcissist behaves after that, right? After that heartbreak. Because as an empath, when you've had a heartbreak like that, when you've dealt with a narcissist, you don't get off on doing that shit to other people. You don't get off on doing that shit to other people. Especially after you've been, you might go through a period of time where you're angry, or you're just like YOLO, doing whatever, like living in sin even, because you're so hurt by what you just went through. But chances are, if you're an empath, you're going to heal, you're going to get through it real quick, and you're going to know that your spirit is going to tell you not to do certain things you're just not going to have it in you. Or you might make a mistake and you're just like, I'm never doing that again. You start to realize that connecting to other people is very dangerous, because now you're tying yourself to strangers and people. So you already know that's not it. You already know that would be you doing the same thing and living in that spirit of confusion. So you do the opposite. So you try to analyze, why would the narcissist do these things to you? And then you start to realize, you start to try to understand, why does the Jezebel does these type of things? And then you come to the conclusion that the Jezebel and the narcissist are the same, and they usually link up with one another, and they exploit empaths and good people, because to them, even though you might look at the Jezebel like the spirit of confusion, and someone who really doesn't know what they want, you realize that they look at you like what you want is unrealistic, but they're the ones that are living in a delusion. And they're aware of their delusion, because if they weren't aware of their delusion, they wouldn't cling on to empaths to save them. So this is how a lot of times the narcissist will end up exploiting an empath, because they've been around that Jezebel spirit, and they are both vibrating from a very low frequency. And for them to do that to someone else means that they're repeated offenders. Once you become a repeated offender, it becomes an addiction. Once it becomes an addiction, you lose control over yourself. And if you lose control over yourself, you're out of your mind. And if you're out of your mind, you're confused. You're out of tune with reality. So the narcissist and the Jezebel are both out of tune with reality. What makes the empath seem like you're out of tune. Why the narcissist and Jezebel play with us empaths in the beginning when we're unaware of all this shit is because they're preying on our emotional intelligence. First of all, they're competing with you. They know your heart, from the start. The reason they do this is because they know that not only do you have emotional intelligence for yourself, you have emotional intelligence for others. They don't have that. That's why they automatically know that you're different. They mimic it. They know that you're the real deal. And this is why they're able to mimic these things to other people, but other people aren't impressed by it, because they look at, especially good people aren't impressed by certain things because they feel like that's what you should do as a human being. Like, or when you do something nice, even hold a door from someone, you don't really care about them saying thank you or not, because you're like, it don't even matter to me. I'm doing it because that's just me. That's who I am. Right? So you have that emotional intelligence to see everything. So the empath plays a big role when you're coming across narcissists, because they are the spirit of confusion. So they try to mimic that, and when people who are good people see that, they're not impressed. But when people who are bad, just like them, who are toxic, not necessarily bad, but toxic, because it's really like a mental illness. So when other people are usually attracted to them and attracted to their good deeds, a lot of times they're running across someone just like them who are impressed by their good deeds, like any typical person, right? The thing is that when you've reached a point where you understand that you can't let people prey on your emotional intelligence, when you come to a point where you can't be played with, then you know when someone is giving you an act, because now they go from being charismatic or a nice person, they go from being someone who's polite, someone who seems like they're attentive, right? They go from being that person to now you're seeing a completely different side, a side that has felt so... The narcissist, think about it. Once upon a time, you were strangers. The narcissist, the Jezebel spirit, they get so comfortable that they start confusing you with the people in their lives, like their families, the people they grew up with, the people they were able to put their hands on, and the next day everybody act like nothing happened. They're able to they start to view you as the people that they are accustomed to, because now they've gotten comfortable with you, and now you're going to get to see what's underneath the mask, what's underneath someone who's behaving like they're emotional intelligent, but they're only emotional intelligent for themselves, not when it comes to other people. So now they're going to start showing you what's underneath the mask. What's underneath the mask is someone who cannot relate to others. They can only relate to themselves based off of their own experience and reality, and especially if they haven't explored other realities, they're going to be really stuck in their ways. Now, there's going to be certain narcissists, Jezebel spirits, who are able to tap into other people's realities and morph into different people. And those are like reptilians. Those are people, chameleons, that just like, they change. Those are like a different breed of narcissists and Jezebel, because those can fool you as well to another level, because they've studied different types of people from different various of groups. So now those could be really deadly, because now they can confuse you to believe their lies, their cultural background, things about themselves that aren't even true, that they just make up based off of the people that they've been around. But you won't know that, because by the time you figure it out, it's going to be too late. That's why they're the spirit of confusion. You're going to see the red flags, but you're going to overlook them, because you're going to see more of you're going to pay more. You're going to want to stay close to the part of them where they seem like they're human. And what you don't know at the time is that human part comes from the different people that they've came across. So just like the empath, a part of you is a part of the different people that have raised you, and you came across the people that your experiences, and not necessarily you are those people, but those are part of the things that make you you, so you're going to start to see that in the narcissist or the Jezebel. It's like you can take them, you can help them, you can elevate them, but they're going to keep doing things that it's like you're trying to help them and they don't see what they're doing wrong, and then you'll find yourself repeating yourself. And then what will happen is that now they'll get frustrated, they'll blame shift, and now they'll make it seem like you're the liar, or you're the evil person, or you're trying to mislead them, or whatever the case. And this is what keeps the empath around, because you keep wanting to help these people, but you don't know that these people have that spirit of confusion. The Jezebel is spirit of confusion. A lot of times, a lot of the stuff that they even are telling you, they don't really even believe these things. A lot of times it's an act. A lot of times these are actors. They just want to see if you believe them. They're just going to see if they could get away with it. They just want to see if they can manipulate you. They just want to see if they can control you to keep thinking they're a certain way, because they feel like they need you. They need you as supply. They need you as someone to gossip to. They need you in case of emergency. They need you because maybe they might feel like, hey, if something happens to me, you could take care of my children. Like, you'll be surprised the type of mask that a lot of people wear to make you believe that they're good people, but the whole time they have ulterior motives. And this is why when people are showing you that they got this spirit of confusion and you don't know where you stand with them, or you tell them, hey, no matter what, if we get mad at each other, I can't go to sleep. That's my number one rule. We can't go to sleep mad at each other, because now I don't trust you. Now I feel like you just want to be mad. Now I feel like if you don't love me enough to forgive me, why are you here? Like, you want something, you need something from me. And that's where you can show boundaries, right? But when you're dealing with the spirit of confusion, they're going to cross those boundaries. They're going to make up lies on why they cross those boundaries. They're going to say, I just needed time to myself. I needed more time to myself to just think things out, or whatever the case is, right? And days and weeks and months will go by, and then they'll come back like, oh, I just needed time. I know you said, don't go to sleep mad, but I felt like I needed a week to myself because I'm going through this, I'm going through that. So if you don't trust your partner enough to tell them what you're going through, then who are you going to talk to about these things? And so that's where the spirit of confusion will sit there and be like, oh, I wasn't talking to nobody. I've been by myself. I don't talk to anyone. I'm a quiet person. They'll start to try to relate to the image of who they know that you are. They know you're quiet. They know you don't really mess with people like that. You don't like drama like that. So they'll make it seem like, oh, I'm just like you. I just wanted peace and quiet. Like, you should be able to trust me. So yeah, these people definitely the Jezebels and the narcissists, they're identical in many ways. But because of the world, how the world is, different expectations, different things that we go through, just based off of our gender, shit like that, plays a role into the differences. But one thing that you will get with these people when they're playing with you is that they're trying to confuse you. That's where the gaslighting comes from. So, when you're dealing with the spirit, of the Jezebel, she is like, she wants to put men in like a pedestal. Like, she's like, oh, I don't have no female friends. I'm mostly guy friends. Oh, all my friends are beautiful. All my friends have to be pretty. Oh, like it's very, when you come across like a lot of Jezebels, they're very like materialistic, very like superficial. If they don't have the looks, they're like really money hungry, like just like real cold, right? Like very condescending behavior. So what I realized, a lot of that, oh, I only have friends who are beautiful. It's like I come across a lot of Jezebels and they all talk the same. Like, it's like hearing a robot talk over and over and over again. And I don't even think none of them know that they're doing it. Like, I don't think any of them know that they say the same things. Because it's like when you're dealing with a narcissist and they feel like, no one is like me. I'm a different type of breed. I'm special. I'm like God. And then you run across a lot of narcissists and you realize, like, nah, that ain't nothing was special about that motherfucker. He's just like all these other weirdos. And you start realizing, like, oh man, why did I waste so much time with these weirdos? Because they're weird. These people are so weird, desperate, just conniving, diabolical. It just despicable. Just the freaking list can go on, right? These are disturbed, nasty people, because they bring other people, innocent people, to their bullshit. That's what I don't respect about them. If you want to like roll around in the mud with other bullshitters, do that, but they always go and target people they feel like they could control and play with. They feel like, oh, they feel like they're teaching you a lesson, and some people don't make it out alive from those situations. So that's jacked up, because they try to downplay their abuse and they talk about it in a way where it's like they're so desensitized that when they're talking, it's like they'll make their listener feel like they can trust them just because they're being honest. But you don't know what the people they've abused went through. You don't even know if they made it. You don't even know what happened to them. You listening to this person, you listen to a lot of these narcissists, Jezebels, and you think that they've changed. But guess what? Some of those Jezebels, they're your grandmothers, and they're hiding. They're in disguise. They got a mask on because they're old. You can't, they know they can't do certain things because they're gonna get beat up. They're like, oh, I can't do certain things because I'm old. I ain't got the energy. I'm gonna get beat up. So it's all in their eyes. It's all in their smirks. It's all in their little gestures. When they're judging you and judging how you look or judging what you're wearing, right? So as the Jezebel, the narcissist, gets old, you're gonna see that behavior technically does not change. So a lot of them are even superficial when they're old. And I would think to myself, even with my grandmother, right? When she talked bad about people or even children, like, telling my little cousin, "Oh, don't eat that. You're that's why you're big." She would talk crap, and I always have to tell her, like, I remember telling her, I'm like, don't talk to him like that. Like, he's a kid. And I remember everyone jumped up to her defense, like, oh, don't talk to your granny like that. And I'm like, I didn't say anything wrong. I said the truth. He's a kid. Like, shouldn't talk to kids like that. Kids are sensitive, Um, and he was a very sensitive kid. He got bullied a lot, and he even ended up passing away from seizures. And I talked to you guys about that. So it's like, you gotta watch how you talk to people, because now, guess what? My little cousin, he's dead and gone, and the memory I have of him is how my grandmother spoke to him, and how everyone jumped up and was like, "Oh, don't talk to your grandpa like that." And I'm like, I didn't even do anything wrong but say the truth. They have this spirit of confusion to the point where everyone defends them, and they defend them knowing they're wrong, knowing that person is wrong, because they got the spirit of confusion. So this is what leads me back to how the younger Jezebels will say, "Oh, I'm beautiful. All my friends I hang out with, we're all bad bitches. We're all beautiful. I only hang out with bad bitches. Oh, we're so real. We're so real. We're so real because of this. We're so real because that. I'm a real ass bitch." Like, they don't even know what real is. They don't even know what loyalty is. Their definition of loyalty is jumping and fighting because their friend is fighting an innocent person. Oh, that person's not innocent. They believe their friend even if their friend is lying. They stick up for people not even knowing the full extent of what's going on, right? They think that's real. They think that's loyalty. They think it's loyal if they're hanging around snakes. And the reason they're okay with that is because when they're doing snaky shit, they want those people to have their back as well. That's why when you're dealing with a whole bunch of Jezebels, narcissists, they always got the spirit of confusion, because right and wrong don't even matter to them, right? They don't care about right and wrong. As you get older, you realize, hey, I can't get on certain people's levels because I'm older than them now. I'm supposed to be more mature. I can't sit there and argue with this kid or whatever the case is. But you'll see that the narcissist will get older and they got the spirit of confusion. So they'll portray to the world, oh, I'm a real ass person. Yeah, I'm out here. I'm a positive speaker. Oh, I'm always, talking to the youth, uplifting them and this and that. Oh, I'm in the church choir. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. I got 30 students in this class, and I do this after school program, and they'll sit there and tell you all these things, but they're the spirit of confusion, because a lot of times they'll be jealous, a lot of times they'll be attracted to people they're working with. A lot of times they're not telling you, a lot of times they could be a teacher's pet. They could have a teacher. They could have students that are teachers' pet and be treating other students differently. A lot of times they won't treat their own kids right? But they're over here helping other people, right? So they'll go and help people in programs, and talk about love and not judging others, and then go home and judge their children, or compete with their children, or compete. Or oh, I'm a real ass person, I'm this, I'm 100 and all this, but you're sitting there arguing with someone that's beneath you. Or sitting there arguing with someone who's a child. You're sitting there entertaining stuff that you shouldn't be entertaining. So that's why I say a lot of these people have the spirit of confusion. Oh, my friend is bad, my friend is this, my friend is that, because in their mind, they've been hanging around, the Jezebel's been around the narcissistic man, and the narcissistic man, he is looking at the empath, he's looking at the Jezebel, he's like, both of them are emotionally intelligent in some way, are too emotional even. This is why, as an empath, once you control your emotions, there's not a man that can manipulate you. But by then, you'll see that most men don't want you because they know you're not easy to manipulate. So then you'll start to see that this is why a lot of the men will be narcissists. But then you'll also see the women, especially younger women who are very high on narcissism, especially when they're younger. You'll start to see why certain men will approach the Jezebel, because they feel like, hey, both women are emotional. I might as well go for the one that I'm more attracted to. I might as well go for the one who's the youngest. So this is what gets the Jezebel, especially the younger Jezebels, that's what makes them feel invincible. That's where that train of thought, all my friends are attractive, I'm attractive, all this and that, because they're basing their value on how they look, not who they are on the inside. So yes, the narcissist might pick them initially because they might be sexually attracted, but it's never going to work out. They didn't even think to themselves why the narcissist isn't committed now, especially if they're older. Why aren't they committed? They're coming after you, promising you all these things, but why aren't they committed? They're not thinking about that because they're thinking they're the prize. The narcissist feels like they're the prize because they can keep getting away with it. They got that spirit of confusion as well. So the Jezebel learns from the narcissist that looks is all that matters, because the narcissist has put it in themselves that they are never going to commit to anyone on an emotional level because they can emotionally only think about themselves. So the Jezebel has it like, oh, all men are the same. All the men that I want only care about themselves. All the men that show me attention and love and respect, I don't like those type of dudes because they're pushovers, because they don't really know what they want. Because if they were experienced like the narcissist is experienced in relationships, then they would treat me the exact same way. So this is why when the good guy gets mad, all of a sudden the Jezebel submits to him. So now the good guy feels like he got to keep being mean to the Jezebel so that she can respect him, but that's not who he is as a person. So in the end, the good guy will get played because it's not in him to behave that way, in that type of toxic manner that is confusing, because you're saying you don't want the bad guys because they're this, they're that, they've done this to you, but then you don't want the good guy. So now you're dealing with someone who is a Jezebel, the spirit of confusion. She could be on the street selling her body away, and you could sit here and feel sorry for her and say, oh, someone put her in this situation, I need to get her out. And guess what she's gonna do? She's gonna come rob your ass, steal everything, clean your house out, and then she's going to run back to the streets to that narcissist that she loves so much and give him all of the supply that he needs. And there's nothing that you could do to save this person, because they try to confuse you through emotions, making you think that they're like the typical woman. They're a woman that has emotions, right? And she does have emotions, but only for herself, not for others. That's why she's in the position that she's in. And that's why certain women won't allow themselves to be in that position, because they don't just think about themselves. They think about other people. They think about their children. What would my children and their friends think if I was doing this? They think about their family. They think about their jobs or the future. What can happen if people know this, right? And you know, the Jezebel spirit of confusion, especially those with money, those in high places, will confuse other Jezebels on a lower level to think that they can one day be like them and be on top of the world. But what ends up happening is the opposite. A lot of these Jezebels lose their souls to the narcissist. A lot of narcissists lose their souls to the Jezebel, and they live in a fantasy world of things that never happened, or live in the past of things that happened when they were younger, right? And this is why they get off on all the bad that they've done to other people. And this is why you'll see that they'll never admit to the wrongdoings of themselves. You'll see that they'll say that they never regretted anything that they've ever done in their life. You'll see that they'll never come back and apologize, because even when they decide to change and maybe go to church, right? They might say, like one time I ran across this Jezebel that I worked with, and she started telling me, I used to do a lot of drugs and I changed my life. Now I go to church and I have a blended family, right? And all these positive things. And then as the time went by, she tells me, I'm so freaking upset right now because the mother of my husband, he was an addict like me. We both changed our life, whatever, right? She's basically saying that the woman, the mother of his children, right, because they have a blended family, wanted to see her children, but she's still on drugs, but she wanted to visit. So she's like, no, she's not allowed to visit. She needs to get clean, right? She can't see her kids. She needs to get clean. So, I was like, did your husband put her on drugs? Oh no, she was already doing drugs before she met my husband. And then, my husband, he wanted to clean himself up and he wanted to clean himself up and he changed his life. Then another time she's like, oh, I had an incident where I went to a wedding and my husband's baby mom was there at the wedding, and her friend, basically how she got with this man is that the baby mom had a friend and she was friends with that friend. So she says, I wasn't really her friend. I was friends with her friend, and that's how I met my husband now, because we met at that event, but I was never loyal to her because we weren't friends. I was friends with her friend. Her friend brought me with her, and that was the first time we had met. So I'm like, you don't think that she's upset in any type of way because you were welcomed into her family? And even though you say she's on drugs, if she was on drugs, then he must have been on drugs too. And if he wasn't, maybe she was clean, but maybe this situation made her relapse. And even if, because at the end of the day, everyone has choices. So she chose to stay in that place that she's in, right? It's hard for her to recover, whatever. So I basically had asked her, I was like, well, how come you don't let her see her kids at least, just to see them for a little while or something? When you in a place of hopelessness and your kids are snatched, them little moments matter. And sometimes people feel like, well, that could be traumatic for the children. So I also understand that, and they feel like you don't have that. Some people might feel like you don't have permission to do that anymore. You lost that permission, right? But life is fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? So I think just because I'm an empath, I always have that little compassion there, right? But the way my coworker at that time had got so pissed when I said that, she's like, no, she don't deserve to see her. She's on drugs. She's this, she's that. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, bitch, you just said that you used to do hard drugs and you were tripping out. And then I'm like, man, you like the typical drug addict who, like, when they change their life, they start trying to look down on other drug addicts and like act real weird. And I'm like, how you gonna act weird when you were that person? You were that same person. And that's the shit I'm talking about with people. They got that spirit of confusion. They'll go judge other people knowing damn well they were doing these same things, right? With empaths, we kind of feel like a lot of times we don't do a lot of the shit that people do to us. We don't do shit to other people to deserve the treatment that we get. And that's what I feel like pisses us off as empaths, right? But to the narcissist, they live in this cycle. They're used to judging other people. They're used to other people judging them back. And it becomes like first nature to them. Like they like the drama, they like their adrenaline is going, like they like that shit. And to empaths, it's like when we were emotionally intelligent, but we listened to our emotions more than our brain. A lot of things we allowed the narcissist to slide with, right? We were living in Crazyville with the narcissist and these Jezebel spirits. We were living in Crazyville and didn't know what the fuck was going on. Once you detach from your emotional intelligence and you realize, I gotta think intelligently now, not from my emotions. I can use my emotions to sympathize with other people, but I gotta be intelligent enough to understand that I really don't know people the way I think I know them, because people they always seem to surprise me. Like they could seem just like an empath, and then the longer you get to know them, or the moment you don't agree with them with something, or you tell them the truth about their wrongdoing, or you're basically telling them like, oh, like you're not gonna get nowhere from like trying to give other people karma because they already did what they did. They don't care, and you should have done something right there and then. Like now you're gonna look like a stalker. Now you're gonna look weird. Like you just let it go at this point. Like a lot of times people will talk themselves into getting angry, and then like based off of their anger, they'll start becoming emotional, and then they start reacting when that other person ain't even thinking about you at all. And that's that adrenaline rush, and I know what that feels like, and that's why I feel for a lot of people when people are not reacting normal. I feel for them because I've been there where it's like you basically go into you're temporarily insane for a while, because these people drive you to insanity, and you literally got to find your way back to yourself from their thoughts and their control and their manipulation, basically controlling your freaking brain. You're brainwashed. So once you snap out of that and you see all the brainwashing that's going around, and you see that a lot of the brainwashing is happening by crazy maniac narcissists and Jezebels who want to control everyone, but they don't even live by what the principles that they're sharing to others. They don't even live by that shit. They go to church every week and they don't live by that. You'll be surprised. You start being shocked. You'll be surprised how someone could sit there and steal money from their entire family, and then they'll be sitting at church like they ain't do nothing. And if you say something to them, they're quick to be the victim. They're quick to make it seem like they've helped you a lot. Now they want to bring up things that they've done for you, like all the times they've helped you, to justify their actions. That was their whole reason to being nice. You start to see that the narcissist, the Jezebel, they're the spirit of confusion. They're nice because they want something. They're nice because they're planning on doing something, and then they're planning on confusing you by you thinking about the good deeds and saying, well, why would they do these nice things if they were going to do something so awful? That don't make sense. I must have done something for them to do something that's awful. That's what they want you to think. That's how manipulative they are. They want you to think that. That's the spirit of confusion. And what's crazy is that you'll think to yourself, am I the narcissist? You're like, oh, dumb as hell. Am I the narcissist? like, no. Like, no, bro. Like, these people are crazy. These people are crazy. But, yeah, I know I'm going between the narcissist and the Jezebel, but they're identical, you guys, in a lot of ways. The Jezebel, she's very intense. She will give you, mixed signals. She will test your boundaries. She doesn't care about right or wrong. She's impulsive. Some of them, they don't believe in God. And the ones that act like they believe in God, they don't really know who God is. That's the scary part. Like, how you worship God but don't really understand God's love. Like, that's scary to me. Like, that lets you know they don't really know God. And if you don't know God and you're doing the opposite of what God is, which is love, then you're worshiping something else and don't even know it. And some of them do know it. And they keep trying to look at you like, no, bitch, Jesus, God. But deep down, it's a whole evil entity in there. I'm telling you. It's the scary part. It's someone staring at you. Oh, you got to pray with Jesus. You got to pray with Jesus. They don't even know who God is. Like, you don't even know who God is. And you're saying, Jesus this, Jesus that. God this, God that. And you're doing the opposite. You're living in sin. And you're telling other people how they should live, knowing damn well you ain't doing these things because you wouldn't be going this hard. I believe in God too, but I don't go that hard telling people what they should believe in, because I feel like everybody gonna believe in what they believe in, and when it's the right time for them to believe when it's the right time, it's gonna be the right time for them to understand. So when people are like Bible thumpers or like trying so hard to tell you what you should be doing, chances are they ain't doing that shit. Just like a narcissist will tell you, you should be doing this, you should be faithful, you should be coming home at this hour, you shouldn't be flirting with people at work, and they doing the opposite. They doing everything they're accusing you of. They're accusing you of not knowing God when they don't even know God. So when you're dealing with the Jezebel spirit, because you're gonna see most of them are once they're done playing people and burning bridges, and then they go and get into groups, they get into the church, they get older, they start doing other things in other groups, and that's what they do. They start that spirit of confusion. They'll start using God to stir up mess in their own families. They'll use God. Oh, you're not going to church this Sunday? Oh, you're going to go to hell. You're going to do this. So they'll use God in a way to basically like hide their narcissism. Like, they know they're fucked up individuals. Like maybe they grew up in another country, another state, and now they're here. So you don't know, a lot of these people, even your family, that they might have came here from other places that you didn't get to experience. A lot of these people will be narcissists and you don't know it. And people in the communities that they grew up with, or the villages they grew up in, they know they're evil, wicked people. They know they got a history of evil people in their family and shit like that. And then they came here, got into the church, met a lot of nice, good people. They've been hiding under the rock for a long time, but you'll see their narcissism in the family. But they'll use God in order to abuse you. You not going to church, you not wanting to go to prayer night, or you not wanting to go do whatever they tell you to do. And because people have this image of them being God-like, they try to make themselves seem God-like, start speaking in tongues, doing a whole bunch of weird shit, right? These demonic entities, they're fooling you. They're demonic entities. And once you see that look in their eyes and you know it's fake, that they're fake, they can tell. And they almost feel like you can see them You could see who they were when in their childhood, no matter how old they are. My granny in her 90s, and I seen that look. Like, I could tell who she was when she was younger, when she was a kid. It's like her whole life kind of flashed right before me, right before my eyes, and I said, "Oh, this lady got the spirit of confusion, and she's really good at it. She really fucked me up." And now when I understand the little undermined shit that she was doing, she even sat there and asked me. She said, she looked at me. I knew it, right? It's like my life flashed before me, and then she looked at me and she said, "Do you think I'm a bad person?" And when she said that, I'm staring at her eyes and I got the chills. Like, it's a demon. Like, I'm talking to a demon at this point. This bitch think I've been dumb my whole life, and now I'm looking at her, and it's been hard for me because I've been trying to be respectable because she's old as hell. But then I realized, no, that's who she always been. That's why she's always bringing up, oh, when I was younger this, when I was younger that. Oh, I always was a pretty woman. I've always got a lot of attention. I always got my way type of person, right? So a lot of the Jezebel spirits, they're not really good people. This is not a good person. Superficial. All about looks. They pretend to be good. They fool good people to take care of them. That's why you see a lot of them. You can't be jealous of them because that man don't know what he really married to a demon. That woman don't know she married to a demon. But guess what? They all gonna find out eventually, and usually they're gonna find out when they see how they treat their children, or when they see that they try to divide their children or triangulate their children with each parent, or try to make the children not like the other parent. Whatever the case is, that's when they're gonna wake the fuck up. When something bad happens, or a lot of times even when bad things happen, you'll see everybody will just ignore it until it can't be ignored anymore, until everybody about to get in trouble, or people are being charged, or until it gets bad. That's when people want to act like oblivious, and they be knowing the whole, they're the spirit of confusion, because the whole time they knew the abuse could have been going on, they were playing stupid. But now if they're in a position of trouble, now they're going to go into fight or flight, and they're going to blame everything on the narcissist. And the narcissist is like, you guys sold me out. And now the narcissist is a victim, and then that person is trying to they're trying to save themselves, but it's confirming to you that they knew all along. So if you knew all along, they know it's only a matter of time until their time is up too. They're next. They're the spirit of confusion. They want you to think they don't get their karma, nothing bad happens to them. And guess what? While they're going through their karma, they're still worried about you. While they're going through their karma, they're still wishing bad on you. While they're going through their karma, they're still getting off on the bad things they done on you. They're still talking bad about you. They should be worried about the narcissists and Jezebel spirits in their life that are trying to kill them, but they're so desensitized that they're sitting there thinking about the empaths that they fucked over and thinking bad and wishing bad on you while their whole life is crumbling. That's crazy. That's the spirit of confusion. And then they want you to think everything's good. They want to post vacations and post old pictures of restaurants they were going to, and trying to make you jealous. It's the spirit of confusion. They want you to believe karma don't exist. They know they played themselves the moment that they walked away. They know they played themselves from the start. That's why they didn't care how badly they abuse you, because they already knew, I'm still going to have to pay for this either way. I'm going to ride this supply till the wheels fall off. It's buying me time. All they did was buy them time, but they know their fate. They know their fate, and then they want to confuse you to become just like them, because then it's going to become an addiction, and then it's going to become you. It's going to consume you. It's going to become who you are as a person. And even if you try to go with someone else and start a new life, try to leave your old life behind. You still got to tell the truth to the person that you're with. Because if you don't tell the truth from the start, guess what? The truth will come to find you either way. So, the Jezebel spirit of confusion. She'll sleep with your man. She will fight. She will get with your man. She will get his family. She will sit there and fight you like you're the one who stole her man or something, or you're the conniving one. She's a spirit of confusion, and then she won't feel bad. She won't feel bad that she did you a favor, took the narcissist off your hands, but she'll sit there and try to bully you. She's a spirit of confusion. She'll act like you did. The type of hate the Jezebel will have for you is like, it's almost like she acts like you did something to her. A lot of times she already knew. She already knew about you. Like, I always felt like the Jezebel, she always knew about me. I feel like I feel like I seen her prior to dreaming about her too. So a lot of times, these people be knowing about you. I'm waking up, somebody broke the side of my window. I'm like, who the hell broke the side of my window? And just like, didn't even steal nothing, just put a whole bunch of everything from my glove department, put it out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, it's either a crackhead, someone on the street, but my intuition kept telling me it's another woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, my intuition. And then what's crazy, the narcissist started acting funny, and the narcissist was like, I went back over there and I got into it with some crackheads that had their trucks parked in front of you or whatever. And to be honest with you, I'm like, what if it wasn't even the crackheads? What if the narcissist just made it seem like it was them, the people on the street that were living in their car? Well, he made it seem like it was them, but he probably knew who it was, because his whole attitude was like, almost like he got caught in something. And he never offered to fix my window or nothing. So to me, it's like these people will be messing with the spirit of confusion to the point where now the Jezebel acts like you're the new supply, but they're the new supply. They'll act like you're the new supply or something, or you're the other woman, and they're the other woman the whole time, right? But you, as an empath, you know, once you leave, you know what the narcissist is doing. You know, you don't even be mad at the new supply, because you know that she don't really know no better. She got that spirit of confusion, and you don't know whether she's a Jezebel or she's an empath. But chances are, when they're aggressive like that, when they're pulling up on the narcissist and they're spying on the narcissist, and it's that early on in the relationship, and you've been with the narcissist for years, and they're acting like you're the other woman. And you know, I know that a lot of the narcissists, a lot of times they're cheating, and they're cheating for a while, sometimes for a year. You know, they've been cheating and got the new supply on the side. But the new supply she shouldn't had enough information to know. If the narcissist had been with that new supply for a year, she should have been thinking, well, how come he's not answering my phone at nighttime? How come he be gone for weeks, for days? You know, early on the relationship. This is why a lot of times they end up with Jezebels, because they're the spirit of confusion. Like I said, they pretend like they're unaware that the narcissist has someone, and they almost try to rush the narcissist to basically break up with you. Like, oh, break up with whoever you're with, because you're playing me. It's all about me. You got to look to the future. They basically they're doing things to make the narcissist, to manipulate them, to leave you in the past, and they're like, oh, they're like trying to they're putting fear in the narcissist, like, oh, you're cheating on me. you're doing this, you must be with someone else. They come trying to knock on the door or do little things, they try to pop up, you know what I'm saying? But they knew the whole time from the start, they're trying to do this so that it can put the narcissist on pressure. Like, okay, I've been doing this for a year, this bitch ain't gonna keep playing with me. She already let me have my fun for a year to break up with you. Now she's serious, she coming for you, she's popping up, right? And that's where the narcissist will now do the final discard. So this person knew, they just didn't care because a lot of times they were dealing with other people. And now they're like, okay, that other person, it didn't work out. Now because they got the narcissist basically in their back pocket, now they're like, okay, now you got to show commitment. And the narcissist will, like I said, they'll see that you're emotional, they're emotional, and they'll feel like, what's the point on being with the old supply when you're never going to trust them again? At least with the new supply, they trust that they're going to trust them because they're going to be like, well, they're going to trust me because even though they know I'm cheating, they know that I'm putting them first before you. So at least I have more of a probability of them trusting me than you. And the thing is, it's built on a lie, so it's going to end on a lie. And if the Jezebel has skeletons in her closet or people in her past that she has on a pedestal, then, you know, once she feels like she got the narcissist, she has full control over the narcissist, now she will flip the script and treat the narcissist the same way that he was treating you. You know, so this is why I say that the Jezebel is a spirit of confusion. And now what happens is that a lot of these narcissists, when they get played, automatically now they're studying the Jezebel spirit and they're seeing that the Jezebel spirit is different from the empath. They're identical in ways, but they're not identical. They're completely different because there's no loyalty, right? So now they'll see, okay, this person, you know, the Jezebel, there's no loyalty in this person. Like, the other person really dealt with my bullshit, right? So now they're studying the Jezebel. They're all butthurt and, oh, you know, but now they're talking to the women in their life. They're talking to people. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I've never been in this situation. Oh, do you really think she's playing me? Or, you know, because one minute she act like she really fuck with me and she's crying. The next minute she's acting this way. But what that man that's pretending to be an empath, what he won't tell you is that he was that narcissist to someone else, right? So you got those narcissists who are only emotionally intelligent when it comes to themselves. They don't think about other people. So this is what makes the narcissist and the Jezebel spirit hard to distinguish, because they can be telling you anything. This is why the people closest to them don't really fuck with them, because they know everything about them. This is why they always go out searching for new supply, because if me as a person, right, say my brother or someone close to me, if I know that they did something worse to an empath and now they're telling me about the Jezebel spirit, what I'm going to do is be like, well, you did this to this person, you're probably getting your karma. That's why they don't want to hear that shit. That's why they will go to people that don't know them, strangers. They'll tell them everything the Jezebel is doing to them because they're probably really hurt or confused, right? Or feel like they made the wrong choice, or the grass wasn't greener, or they feel like, oh, I wish I could go back, but I know I can't go back because I crossed certain lines and said certain things and did certain things and stole money, and you know what I'm saying? So they know there ain't no going back. So a lot of times they'll play that role as an empath, and now when they get into another relationship, they'll tell that new person what happened to them in that toxic relationship with the Jezebel, but they'll still keep on lying. They won't tell the truth about that empath. So this is why I say they're the spirit of confusion, because no matter how many times they try to start all over, they're trying to confuse themselves and other people on who they are. They're trying to convince you to believe who they are or who they've created to basically avoid accountability and use their guilt as a way to kind of almost, so that they won't feel that guilt, recreate a story so that the guilt that they feel can match the fake story that they've created for the new supply, if that makes sense. So that's what narcissists and Jezebels do. They're the spirit of confusion, because everybody they get into relationships with, they're lying. Basically, they're not coming real. They keep saying they're real, but ain't nothing that they do real. They don't tell the truth. They're not honest people. They don't take accountability. They put words in your mouth. So they might come off nice, then even subliminally talk about you, in front of you, and act like you're dumb, like they're so smart that you don't know that they're talking about you. You're dealing with people that lack emotional intelligence. They're living in their own world, and then they start showing you signs that they're not really an empath, because now they're rolling their eyes, or they're trying to publicly, humiliate you. They're lying to you. They're giving you bad advice, or they're giving you advice and make it seem like they're trying to give you good advice, but they know the advice that they're giving is going to set you up or set you back, or sometimes they just want to make it seem like they're trying to give you good advice, but their advice is basically trash, and the only reason they're trying to get involved in your life or give you advice or pretend like they're helping you is because they like the way they see themselves helping you. They feel like by being involved in what you're doing in your life, they feel like you're going to look at it as them helping you, even though if maybe if you would have just dealt with your cards on your own, you probably would have won the game. But because you brought this person in and let them read your cards, they're telling you, hey, make this move over here, and you're probably going to win if you do this. And they don't even know how to play the fucking cards. They're just saying that shit. They're the spirit of confusion, and they'll say things in a way where they might seem intelligent. They might say things, or they might even have credentials. They might be a teacher. They might, be a counselor. They might be a doctor. They might try to give you advice based off of their own reality or knowledge, and they might have never really been through shit, or they're telling you based off of what they would do, and they're narcissists and Jezebels themselves. So their advice comes from a place of not thinking of others, of thinking of themselves. So now when you make a bad choice, now you got other people coming for you, because it was a choice made out of someone's selfish needs. So that's why they made that choice for you, because they're already used to people feeling betrayed by them. So they'll make you make choices where you can seem like the bad person. And if you seem like the bad person, now you can confine in them and tell them, oh, people feel like I'm a bad person because you remember when you told me to do this, I did this, and I didn't think they were going to get mad because of this. And now that person is like, you don't owe them anything. You don't have to do anything. That's what they want. See, now they're going to get mad, and I bet you they won't talk to you anymore. If they really loved you, they wouldn't just disappear and not talk to you. So now there is a spirit of confusion. So now it'll make you hate people you're not supposed to hate, and the whole time the enemy is in your face smiling, but it's because everything that you were supposed to give to the people closest to you, they want it for themselves. You see? Or they want to they want to have you isolated so that you can invest more into them, who might even be a total stranger. That's how the spirit of confusion in narcissists and even Jezebel spirits work. Um, Sometimes the Jezebel, they'll even exploit you to send money. They'll tell you that they're sick or they're financially going through trouble or whatever the case is. And this could be your family too. They might feel like you got money, or they might feel like they just don't like you, or they're jealous of you. They feel like you might even get more attention than them. And they're always trying to find ways to exploit you because they know you're a good person. And sometimes they don't even need it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing when you need it. Sometimes these people don't even need nothing from you, and they're still asking you just because they know you'll do it. And in their mind, they're getting over on you, but really they're playing themselves, because trust me, every single one of those type of people get their bad luck. And when they get their bad luck, sometimes they come around you and you don't even know why they're getting their bad luck, but it's because they're a bad friend. And you'll see they'll only come around when they got problems, and when they're celebrating, they ain't hitting you up. So sometimes they even mimic your knowledge. You know, they mimic, you might give them advice. They might come to you for advice all the time. And now they mimic your knowledge. They're behaving like you. They're acting like they aren't who they are, or who they're becoming to be, or they don't have the confidence that they do, or the opportunities even because of you, because you instilled positivity. You told them to go after this or go after that, or you gave them real advice. So they'll give you bad advice, and when you give them good advice, they'll act like you ain't do shit for them. They'll act like the words, the encouragement, the hours you spent on the phone, they'll act like all that shit, it didn't mean nothing. So they're never wrong. So they could wrong you. You can give them good advice. You could tell them when they're wrong, right? You might think the Jezebel spirit is an empath, and then she starts plotting on somebody who's maybe a mutual enemy of yours. And you might tell them, hey, we might have a mutual enemy, but just let it go. Like, don't say anything, because it's going to make you look like you starting something. It's going to make you look like you miserable. You know, like, you might tell them, I know we got mutual enemies. I don't like that person either, but just leave it alone. Or just don't retaliate to something that they've said, because they just want to make you mad. So you might give words of encouragement so that you both can get through what you went through with your abuser, but you start to see that this person might not be like you. They don't respect what you said. They don't respect your boundaries. They don't respect that, hey, you got to watch what you're doing, because we're friends and have a mutual enemy, and if you do something, it also falls on me, because now it looks like people know that me and you talk, so they're going to assume that I'm not checking you for your bad behavior, so I must be encouraging your bad behavior, and they're going to think that I'm just like you. So if you don't respect things about our friendship that I don't like, or things that I feel like are wrong that I wouldn't even do, right? Then if you can't accept this, then you have this spirit of confusion. So what they will say, because I just dealt with this with a Jezebel that's a family member, is that, and I've always been there for this person, they said to me, you think you're so perfect, right? They were in the midst of making up a lie. And I said, no, I don't think I'm perfect. Sometimes I've cussed people out. Sometimes, I said some harsh shit to people out of anger. But you know what? When I did those things, I was telling the truth. I ain't ever told a lie. When I tell somebody how they hurt me, if I call them a bitch in the moment of it, and I don't think I'm perfect because I done called you the B word, right? So obviously I'm not perfect, but I also feel like if you made an empath that angry that I'm cussing you out, I'm saying something to you, if you made me that angry, you must have did something, because that's not who I am as a person. And if I say something, and I speak up for myself, one thing you can guarantee, it's not going to be a lie. I'm not going to make up no shit in the middle of an argument. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I'm not going to say you hit me when you didn't hit me. I'm not going to, and if I do something to you, if I put hands on you, put the paws on you, I'm going to admit that that's what I did. And if I get in trouble because of it, then I'm going to have to pay for the crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and keep lying. So what you'll notice with narcissists is that they won't take accountability. They'll keep lying. So as I'm telling this person, I'm like, hey, if you got a problem with this mutual enemy of ours because they did this to you, then tell them to fuck off. Tell them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them right away to fuck off. Don't wait a whole month to say something because now you're thinking about it and you're mad because now you look dumb. Like, don't even say anything. Just don't say anything. Just let it go at this point. And now, because I'm telling you to let it go, you're telling me that I think I'm so perfect. I don't think I'm perfect. I think I'm being a good friend, a good family member by telling you to let something go because it's not even worth your energy. It's not going to help you. You can't change a narcissist. You're just going to look bad. So you start to see, right? This person hung up on me, hung up on my face. I don't play with disrespect like that, especially when I didn't say nothing wrong. You're saying, oh, you don't think you think you're so perfect. No, I don't think I'm perfect. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you would have cussed them out that same day they said something to you, I wouldn't have looked at you sideways. I would have felt like, hey, you were emotional. Women are emotional. You have a reason to react out of emotion. Someone's fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? But now you're doing it a month later, like something ain't adding up. It seemed like you unhappy, you miserable, you trying to start some shit, and you got the spirit of confusion. And now you're telling me I got the spirit of confusion. It's me. I'm the problem. I think I'm so perfect. I don't think I'm perfect. I just don't got the spirit of confusion. I'm direct. I'm 100. I tell it how it is. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I don't play with people. I try my best to be honest. Try my best to be a good person. I try my best to not lose my temper or not to allow things to bother me. Or even when people are doing grimy things to me right in front of my face, I try to just act like that shit not happening. As long as I'm safe, as long as nobody's stealing nothing from me, I let them play. I let them feel like they're ready to do something. I can tell when they're getting ready to do something, and I'm watching them like children. So most of the time, it's really hard for a narcissist to even get to me because I'm watching them, and they're like children to me. I already know what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say. I don't take what they say as anything of value. When they give me ugly stares, I don't give it energy. I don't let it make me feel like you don't determine my worth. Like, who are you? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? They want you to care. That's the thing. They're the spirit. They want you to be confused about yourself. They feel like they don't respect you, or they're not attracted to you, or they don't like you, or they wouldn't be your friend, or they don't look at you like family, or they don't want to be your co-worker. Who gives a damn? I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you, Satan. You know what I'm saying? They're the spirit of confusion. And then they want to and then if you say something, they're going to make it seem like you don't like them. And then when you're cool with them and you're vibing with them and you're showing them who you are as a person, then they're going to say, "Oh, I thought you were mean." You know what I'm saying? You thought I was mean cuz you was getting ready to be mean to me. And I already knew that, and that's why I have to keep saying hello to you. That's why I have to keep saying good morning. That's why I have to keep killing you with kindness. Because I know you really don't hate me. You just got that spirit of confusion. So another thing that the spirit of confusion likes to do, oh, I hate this one. And I know y'all probably dealt with this one. I hate this one. Oh, I hate it. So these people, right? They might do things for you. You might do things for them, right? But if you're dealing with a narcissist and a Jezebel, see, when you do stuff for people, you don't really expect nothing back. But when what narcissists study about good people is that we like to do things for one another. They study this shit about us. Narcissists, right? Jezebels, they study this. So this is why when they're with you and they do something for you, they'll demand something, but something that costs more money, or they'll start demanding things. So they're like, oh, I did something for you. It's your turn now, because that's what they see good people do. But they don't realize like good people are just blessing each other because they're getting blessings. So it don't mean nothing. But the narcissist views those people as being conceited or something. So they start getting conceited with you, like, oh, I did something for you, you got to do something for me, right? And then you start to see that eventually they won't want to do nothing for you, but they'll go do stuff for people that aren't doing shit for them, because they're expecting those people that aren't doing shit to them for them to do something for them. And sometimes those people might do something for the narcissist, right? But the difference between those people that the narcissist respects, that those people don't even got to do nothing back for the narcissist, even if they choose to do so. The difference between them and you is that the Jezebel spirit won't respect you, right? So the moment that you call the Jezebel spirit out on their bullshit, because the Jezebel spirit already don't respect you, they've been acting like a fake victim, an empath that suffered narcissist abuse. You know what I'm saying? They're playing this whole mask with you. They're manipulators. So what will happen is that the moment that you call them out on their Jezebel narcissist behavior, and they can see, you know, that they're lying and they're bullshitting and they got this other side to them that's evil. Once you see that, they're gonna start, and you call them out. Once you call them out on it, it's over. Because now what they're gonna do is they're gonna deny what you're saying, or they're gonna tell you that they didn't say those things, or they're gonna play the victim. And then, because they still want to be your friend, but they know you're mad, but they're not willing to admit what they've done, is now they're gonna say, I don't know why this person is mad at me. So now they're gonna say, I don't know why this person's mad at me. Then they're gonna say, I've done so much for this person. I've done this, I've done that. You know why they say that? Because a lot of empaths, that's how empaths feel when they get used by a narcissist. Not by good people, because by good people, it's always going to be an even exchange. But with a narcissist, they pretend like it's an even exchange. So they're used to that, oh, I feel used. They're used to that shit, right? So now they're going to use that shit on you to make themselves seem like an empath. They're going to say, oh, I helped this person so much. And almost like eliminating all the good deeds you've done for them. Sometimes you've probably done more good things for them. Sometimes they might have done, sometimes they might have done more nice things for you because they had more money than you. But they also felt like because they had more money than you, then when they're doing things that are wrong, they feel like you shouldn't bring it up to their awareness because they've done more extravagant things for you, right? When you're someone who's 100, who's a real person, we don't give a damn whether you rich, you poor. We always 100 with anything and everything. And we're okay. We're willing to talk things out. Even if we disagree, we always want to end on a peaceful note. But with a narcissist, you can't end in a peaceful note because they won't admit what they did or what they said. And when you repeat word for word what exactly what was said, they'll start talking about something that don't even got nothing to do with what we're talking about. And then they'll be like, oh, you're mean, you're this, you think you're all that, you think you're perfect, but you did this. Now they bring up shit that you've done in the past or when you were younger or whatever the case is. And now they start to tell people all the nice things they've done for you, and they don't know why you're not talking to them, and make you look like the bad person. Make it seem like they're oblivious. Lack of accountability, but they know they were wrong. So like I said, they're still trying to talk to you because they still value you as supply. So they'll try to buy you. So sometimes they'll try to buy you. Like I'm gonna try to buy you, and if that's gonna help me. But it's like you're gonna feel like, why would I allow you to buy me when you're already telling people all the things you've done for me, as if I haven't done anything for you, right? But check this out. Someone who's got more money than them, this is how they play you. That's the spirit of confusion. This is how they know, they know what they're doing. They're manipulating you to think that they're the good ones and you're the bad one. That's what they're trying to do right there and then. Because look, now, if they're dealing with people that got a lot of money more than them, right? Someone more that got wealthier than them. If those people, let's just say, don't say the same thing that you said to the narcissist, the same advice you told the narcissist, don't do that, right? The narcissist is not going to stop talking to them because they feel like this person got more money than me. I can use them. I can't disrespect them and hang up on them. Just like how they hung up on you on the phone and or discarded you or got mad. They're like, oh, I can't do that to this person because they got more money than me. I can't disrespect them. So that means that they're the spirit of the confusion. They say they're 100. They say they're all about respect. They're all this, but they're respecting people according to how much money they make, or them feeling like, oh, you're wrapped around my finger and that's why I could disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? So you could have money, but they feel like they can disrespect you, right? Or they might feel like they've picked things apart. You might make the same money, but they might feel like, well, why you ain't married yet? You're lucky to be with me, right? They might look at this couple like, at least they're married. You know what I'm saying? So they'll give that person respect, and that'll turn you off. That'll make you feel like, well, why would I want to be with someone like this with the spirit of confusion, right? Because it's like nothing you do for them is enough. So now they're comparing you to these other people, triangulating you with them. They're treating them better than you, and you're wondering, why are you treating those people better than me? Oh, they don't look at me the way you look at me. But they might look at them the exact same way you do. They look at you, but the narcissist just isn't willing to disrespect them because they feel like they can benefit from them. And those people might not, they might be greedy. They might not be willing to give the narcissist squat because they already know what the narcissist is up to. So the narcissist might feel like they secretly hate these people because they know these people aren't really willing to help them like that. And they might even feel like they are jealous enough to even steal from them. So a lot of times you don't know, no matter, even if the narcissist is treating other people better, you don't know if they're planning on doing something harmful to those people. So what you will see is the Jezebel or the narcissist will be like, I'm going to respect these people because of their career or how much money they make or whatever the case is, even if these people say the same thing that you've said. So they will take advice from this person and come to you, and now they'll repeat the advice that they got from those people, and then you'll sit there and be looking at them dumbfounded like, that's the exact same thing I told you. And then they'll say, no, you didn't say that to me. You said something else. And that shit will piss you off. It'll make you feel like slamming your freaking head on the damn wall. Because these people, the Jezebel spirit, they're the spirit of confusion. Because what's crazy is you'll think to yourself, does this person know what they're doing? Are they on crack or something? Or are they like really don't know what they're doing? They know exactly what they're doing. Because why didn't they try it with them other people? Why didn't they try that bullshit with them other people? Because they respect them enough not to throw it in their face what they've done for them. You know why? Because they feel like if they throw it on those people's face and say, oh, I feel used, like, I did so many nice things for you. You know what those people are going to say? They're going to say, bitch, I got a career. Bitch, I got more money than you. Anything that you've done for me, how dare you? I didn't need nothing from you. You can't use that shit to manipulate me. So when the narcissist does this to you and disrespects you, they know exactly what they're doing. Their manipulative tactics, they know what they're doing, because that shit don't work with everybody. And when they do this to you as well, the reason a lot of empaths, why we give in to the narcissist and the Jezebel, is because when they talk to you in a way where it's relatable, like you might feel like people have used you, right? So when they say things like, "Oh, I feel used," it triggers you, because it's it's almost like MK Ultra, like they're almost trying to snap you into their mind games, because now they sound just like the empath. They sound just like you, but it's the spirit of confusion, because they know who to play that shit on and who not to play that shit on. Where the empath, we don't play those games. When we feel hurt, we let you know we hurt. When we feel played, we let you know we feel played. We don't play those games, and we're not going to go and we're not going to react like that with everybody, because certain people, we're not connected to them enough to say, "Oh, I feel played," because you don't expect nothing. When you do good things for people, you never expect nothing. So when you do say things like, "I feel used," it's coming from a place of realness, because you know that you invested time in that person. That narcissist will make it seem like you're trying to act like you invested time in me, but you were probably investing time with other people. But it's because they're projecting that shit on you. So this is why I say the narcissist, the Jezebel, they're the spirit of confusion, because you can get to the point where you don't even know who's the empath, who's the narcissist. You don't know if that empath is still healing and they're kind of like going through like a manic episode, and you don't know what stage of their healing they're in. You don't know. Everybody's at war. All you could really worry about is who's causing confusion in your reality. But that's why you have to understand how people function as a whole in different settings, to understand the manipulation tactics that they use, and how a lot of times it's you who's losing and they're winning. You have to pay attention to people and see, what does that person have to lose and what do they have to gain? What do you have to lose? What do you have to gain? Because a narcissist, a Jezebel, is always going to try to convince you that they have a lot to lose and that they don't have time for those games, and that's a lie. A lot of times they ain't got shit to lose. A lot of times they try to make it seem like what you have to offer ain't shit, and really that's a lot for them in their reality. They're gaining from just being around you. They're gaining from just being around your energy, because everyone that they've been interacting with or who's attracted to them are just like them. So when they come around you and you believe their lies, to them they use you as a shield. They feel like it don't even matter what you got to offer, as long as I could be around you, because I need someone's energy like yours to protect me a little bit from all this bullshit that keeps attacking me. So you become almost like a safe haven for someone who clearly, has problems, like, who's got that spirit of confusion. So this is why I say a lot of them, they don't respect nothing you do for them. The good deeds you do for them, they look at it like, other people have done more for me than you. They're trying to, that spirit of confusion. Sometimes certain people haven't even done half the shit that you've done. They're just saying that to you. That's that spirit of confusion. A lot of them, they want to make themselves look more desirable. The women want to make themselves look more desirable. They think that telling you who's flirting with them and who's this, who's that, is going to make you bow down and allow you to be manipulated by them. Because it's a way to put fear into you, a fear of losing something great, and they're really nothing great, but they're trying to convince you that they're great people. And as the longer you're with them, you're going to realize that they're not great people, and you're going to be disgusted how someone so low down with no morals could try to make you or convince you that they were this great person or godlike person or someone that people want around. It's like, if I saw what you're about, it doesn't matter what you perceive to other people, because you are what you are based on how you treat others, period. So if that's how you treat someone, those type of games you play, you can go and smile, go to work and smile at your manager and employees all day long and act like you're a good person and say, oh, people think I'm a good person at work. But if you come home and you beating on your wife and you calling people names and you making people's lives miserable, that's who you really are. That's the real you, and you're trying to convince me that that's not the real you, and I'm making you behave this way. So that's what narcissists and Jezebels do. They try to make you feel guilt for them abusing you, and then get you to apologize or whatever to calm them down. And now the next time they do it again, they're going to blame it on you again and say, oh, last time I did this because you started something, and you always starting something, and now you became the enemy to a crazy person. You became and it's like you might, when you're dealing with a Jezebel and a narcissist, you're dealing with such a spirit of confusion that you might as well go to the mental hospital and just go pick up a random person and take them home. And that's what you're going to be dealing with a narcissist or a Jezebel waking you up in the middle of the night acting crazy and talking crazy. So, this is what fools you to think that they're empath just like you. With the spirit of confusion that the Jezebel has, you can, like I said, tell them word for word what happened and how everything started. And a lot of times what I notice is that they won't take accountability. So with the empath, sometimes you might not be aware of certain traits that you might have, and when someone brings it up to your awareness, you might apologize because you're like, oh, I wasn't aware of that, right? So every time that happens, if you're dealing with a narcissist, they will try to shame you and for not knowing certain things, and will say, oh, that's what you always say, that you're sorry, but you don't mean it, or whatever. They try to gaslight you. They try to project things to you. They're the ones that are giving you red flags, but they'll use that as a spirit of confusion to confuse you and to make you feel like you must be the problem, because they got to keep telling you things over and over and over again, and you keep apologizing, so it makes you feel like something's wrong with you. Well, with the spirit, with the Jezebel spirit of confusion, is similar to that. When you're unaware of something and someone brings it up to your attention, it's kind of like that with the Jezebel spirit. Like the Jezebel spirit might not be aware of certain traits either, and she might be like, oh shit, but the thing is, she's not gonna apologize. She's not gonna apologize. She's not gonna apologize. She's gonna fight with you. She's gonna debate with you. She's gonna fight with you of why her actions weren't wrong. And then what's gonna do is gonna piss you off. You're gonna keep yelling, right? You're gonna get mad or something. And when you're dealing with a narcissist, the narcissist, you'll see that they'll yell at you and they'll treat you like that, and you'll wonder where is this aggression coming from. And it'll make it, what it made me feel like as an empath, it made me feel like this is what he dealt with the Jezebel, and I felt like he would try to project it on me. So then when I started to see how the Jezebel functions and how she just doesn't admit to shit, I would think to myself, the difference is that I apologize if I was in the wrong. And a lot of times you won't even be in the wrong, you're just fucking apologizing because it's a cycle that the narcissist been in with someone else. It's like you're dealing with a whole bunch of crazy people that have PTSD, and they're bringing that shit onto you like a disease, right? So I realized, okay, fucking Jezebel spirit, she doesn't admit shit. Like, you go on and on and on. She debating, she fighting. She wants to be in control so bad. You could tell this person, if you're in a business setting, you might even get tired of this person. You might think she's a Karen and tell her, just get the hell out of here, because there's no talking to you. You don't get it. She's going to be like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. Da, 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 da. She's going to keep going, keep going, keep going. So it's not until a narcissist cusses them out, hits them, punches them, that now they're apologizing. They might be the victim, actually. They might cry, call the police on you, try to ruin your life, whatever. And then they come to you after they done press charges on you, then come to you with a black eye and be like, I'm sorry, you were right. I should have never did that. I'm going to go drop the charges. You know what I'm saying? They got this spirit. I'm telling you, the Jezebel got the spirit of confusion to that level. To that level. That's why you have to be very, very careful when you're dealing with the Jezebel, the spirit of confusion, because she's going to use her femininity when she pleases. She'll even, she could hit you. She could hit you and then say that you hit her. Just like a narcissist. A narcissist can do the same thing. He can hit you and say that you as a woman hit him and get you arrested. That's how sick and diabolical these people are. They're the spirits of confusion, because they will stoop down so low just to cover their own asses, knowing damn well everything they've been doing it's because it started off on a lie. And a lot of times when these narcissists and Jezebels get together and they both have that spirit of confusion, you're going to see that one of the narcissists is greater than the other one, and they're using, their children as pawns, and the greater narcissist is exploiting the other narcissist who believes they're a greater narcissist because they have more supply, but one of them is more cunning than the other, and they feel like they don't feel bad about exploiting that Jezebel spirit or that narcissist, because they feel like that person is a bad person just like them. So they'll sit there and talk about other people, and that Jezebel spirit can feel like she found her soulmate, because they both are evil, they both are wicked and narcissistic, right? But that Jezebel spirit, there's something a little bit different between, there's a difference between that narcissist and that Jezebel spirit, and that's that emotional intelligence that Jezebel spirit has for themselves, right? That narcissist has that, but to a different level, to a different extent, meaning that he feels like he's better, he's smarter. He feels like that Jezebel spirit, no matter how tough she is, he feels like he controls her. He knows her past, the things she's done, and he feels like this is why she deserves the abuse she's been getting or getting ready to get. But this is why the greater narcissists won't spare that Jezebel spirit. Once they divorce, they already know, hey, I came into this relationship with nothing, but I'm going to leave with half of everything. The Jezebel spirit is the spirit of confusion. She sits here and plays with everybody but plays herself. The narcissist plays everybody but plays themselves. Because even in that situation, it's still cheaper to keep her. So what they end up doing is they end up doing whatever they want to do. They end up living double lives. They end up, they end up stealing from their own families. And you know what? And as confused as that Jezebel spirit is, she's going to have to pay the consequences of of all the time she done sold someone else out or another woman out. Because a lot of times when you see the Jezebel spirit paired up with the narcissist, she lives revolving around hating other women. Like, that's how she feels she's safe, or that's how she feels that's her way of having power over the narcissist. Is, if I talk bad about other women and say things about them and point out their insecurities and things like that, that make me look more attractive to the narcissist. That's how the Jezebel spirit of confusion thinks. But she don't know the narcissist is observing her, and he looks at it as insecurity. And when he sees, okay, it's not, a lot of women could be insecure. A lot of women could be insecure. You gotta be a Jezebel spirit. But it's when he sees that you're taking action and actually doing something out loud to hurt someone's feeling, when he sees that you're making up lies on someone, when, jealousy, that jealousy, like I said, women can have that, period. But when he sees that you're taking out that hate on people for no reason, that's going to give that narcissist ammunition to exploit that Jezebel spirit. So the Jezebel and the narcissist are the spirit of confusion, because they don't know what love is, they don't know what God is, and their whole thing is bringing other people down. And when they are together, they bring one another out. They bring one another down. I'm sorry. So I hope that this message, I know it was long, but I wanted to get that point across when you're dealing with the Jezebel spirit, because just like the narcissist, there's a lot of similarities. But evil is evil, and it could come in a pretty face, in a pretty package. And that pretty package, that spirit, that Jezebel, that spirit of confusion, this is why she doesn't understand. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is why she likes having empaths in her corner, because she's studying them. She like, I gotta have your personality, but my looks. But she can't, because it's in you, it's not on you. She can't get what you have. So always know that there's no one else like you. The narcissist can go and be with Jezebel. Jezebel can go be with the narcissist, but there's no one like you. And in this world, all you're going to remember as you get older, before you die, if you even get to live long enough, all you're going to think about is who was there for you, who was good to you, and who was bad to you. And the longer you are with the narcissist, that just goes to show the longer you're with them, a person cannot forget a decade of being with you. They can't forget something like that, because you protected them for such a long amount of time. You gave them memories, you gave them love, you gave them something. You gave them something unconditional. You didn't judge them for what they had, how much money they made. So they go out into the world and they find out that, hey, it's people out here looking for what you can do for them. There's people out here that will leave you because you're not making enough money. There's people out here that don't look at you like the prize, that don't see you the way I saw you, that don't see you as being beautiful when I saw you as being beautiful. So they'll see how superficial other narcissists are. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, they feel like by portraying this confidence that they can get everything that they want, but they forget that there's greater narcissists out there, that they look at certain narcissists and their confidence as being false. And the narcissist knows that. They know there's always going to be a greater narcissist than them. And the thing is, they want to give you the spirit of confusion. They want you to feel like they're different. They're different from all these other narcissists. It don't matter how much money he make. I'm special. I'm this. I haven't been discovered. You know what I'm saying? They like living in a fantasy world. So, I hope this message was helpful. I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace in your healing. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new, and if you guys want to book a session, you guys know my booking information is always on the description. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.